Howdy folks, welcome to my channel. Hope you're doing well. You'll notice that this is a solar video and we're not looking at solar, we're actually looking at a dynamometer at the moment. But we're going to get to that solar right now. Recently got a Bluetti Elite 100. It's a really neat machine. Battery bank, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, I've been playing with the solar because it's fall. And when fall comes, we play with tractors less. Unless we're working on them. And I have plenty of those projects coming up. But I want to talk about this Bluetti 100 and the neat things it can do. It has this feature called Solar Priority UPS. Uninterruptible Power Source, I believe, or something like that. This is the guy with brain cancer. I forget that stuff. But anyway, this is a really neat thing, and I'm going to talk a little bit about it. So hang on just a moment. Alright, we're going to start outside here with the solar panels. These are actually the solar panels for the fish house over there. But these are 260 watts combined, and they run over there to the window. When I get around to doing this more permanently, I'm going to mount one or two 200 watt panels right in this area on the back of my house to power the Bluetti. Now let's go inside and check out that Bluetti. Alrighty folks, here we go. We got some Farm Sim update going on. I haven't had time to play that this summer, so it's got a lot of updating to do. We're going to watch some Squatch 253, working on that RD6 project. Can't wait to see more of Christine, the experimental Minneapolis Moline. But anyway, up here, we have the Bluetti. This is the Elite 100. And as you can see, I got some cords going to it. My coyote here is guarding it. It's such a fancy tool. We got to make sure it's safe. So anyway, that is my grid power in. That is my power down to my computer and monitors. This is that solar panel coming in the window temporarily. When I get all that wired in, it's going to look a whole lot better. Anyway, let's turn on the screen here. We got 171 watts coming in. The computer's taking up 70 watts. And it's charging the old battery up right there. It's a pretty neat system. So, we're going to talk about this system and why I think it's really cool. Alrighty, so we're back in the garage here next to the dynamometer. Whoa! Another Bluetti? This is an EB3A. I think we better have a little disclosure here. Neither of my Bluettis or any of my solar stuff has been given to me by any company for any sort of review. These have all been bought and purchased. So, this is not a paid review. This is 100% me thinking this is cool. Anyway, this one's not as cool as the one downstairs, but it's still pretty cool. These Bluettis, these power banks, they're pretty tough little machines. Battery banks, whatever you want to call them. I work with a lot of machines, so machines are cool. Anyway, the reason why that PV UPS photovoltaic uninterruptible power source is so cool is because it can save a guy money, I think. This is a feature I don't see a whole lot of information about on the internet, so I'm hoping that this helps. By having the solar set up and the grid power, with the Bluetti to power the computer, it protects the computer against power surges. Well, actually I don't know that the Bluetti does that, but I know that the Bluetti being connected to my surge protector does that. But it protects my computer from unintended, unexpected shutdowns, which can corrupt your drives. I actually have a computer right there off the screen that died because power went out and it corrupted the drives. That was like a $1,600. Uh-oh. Yeah, we don't want that again. So the UPS feature is awesome. Add in the PV. That saves me some green. And it's fun to play with solar. So you set up the solar, it prioritizes that solar power. So when there's enough battery and there's enough solar coming in, it uses all that solar power instead of grid power, which saves you a little bit of money. So far, electricity is pretty cheap where I live, so I'm not saving that much money. In a couple days I've been playing with this, I've only saved about 9 cents. But I think over time, it's a neat feature and it's worth having to play with. I hope Bluetti makes it bigger so that in the future we get more benefit from it. We hook more stuff up to it. So maybe instead of having just the computer and the monitors connected to it, maybe I can power my whole desk with the printer and the light and the fan, all that stuff. And then maybe we can expand it. Maybe it can power a whole room in your house. The Elite 200 is a pretty powerful machine too. That's a neat one. So anyway, I just wanted to make this video about it, and I wasn't really sure what to talk about with that PV Priority. So I wanted to make this video, and if you have questions or comments, drop them below. I'd love to hear more about it and your experiences so that I can learn even more about it. The solar stuff's pretty cool. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.